Honestly, I'm just really disappointed, you guys. Did you guys catch that press conference that happened yesterday? The one where Jake Paul, Logan Paul, KSI, and his little brother made fun of each other's hairlines and compared dick sizes for like half an hour?
After KSI posts that pic of his little baby carrot, I think they got something to tell us. Oh! Looks like you grew a little dick today, but it's a little one. Oh. Yo, and I'm vegan, so I recognize a baby carrot when I see one. Oh.
Deji laughed at one of the jokes that Jake Paul made about KSI's pee-pee. That's the sign of true brothers right there. Either way, even if you didn't, now is the time for me to start breaking out the boxing glove prop again. Shit is really coming back around. It feels like February again. Overall, I think the press conference was just kind of a massive letdown. First of all, it started really fucking late. It was supposed to start at like noon PST, but then me and my friends Quackity and Hoover were sat there waiting for it to boot up for like half an hour. And while I was waiting, I somehow ended up playing Roblox Fortnite. That was one of the bigger mistakes I ended up making that day.
Hey guys, it's me, Kwite. Today I'm back here with another Roblox Let's Play. I'm gonna kill somebody. Aha! Aha, eat shit. Oh, fuck. Fuck. Aha! We got one. This is an Uzi. To turn to this game, you have to hold the arrow keys. Yeah, I'm gonna kill this one. I can't see shit. I can't see shit. Haha! What's this gun? I need fucking Robux to buy it? What? No, I don't want your stupid pay-to-win bullshit. I just gotta hold that arrow key to turn it around. Okay, let's get it. Aha! That's 3. That's 4. Oh, what the fuck? What the fuck just happened? What? Haha! That's 5. I feel like I'm playing Black Ops Nuketown. No, I don't want to buy a scar for 100 Robux. How much does the Infinity Gauntlet cost? Because I know it's gonna fucking cost money. Ah, 200. Nice.
I might make a full video about that, to be honest. It was more entertaining than the conference itself. Well, depending on which part you were looking at. Well, aside from that, it was Jake Paul telling Comedy Shorts Gamer that his shoes look like they were bought from Walmart a bunch. And this conference really made me realize how much Jake Paul's head looks like a Daft Punk helmet. But not in a cool way, more like in a, how did you manage to come out the womb with a head shaped like that kind of way? And the sunglasses he was wearing at the conference just didn't really help with that perception at all. Among other revelations I had that day was that I realized how much taller Jake Paul is than Deji. Looking at clips of Logan Paul and KSI, they don't actually look like they have that much of a height difference. Logan's definitely taller, but it doesn't look like towering or anything. I'm pretty sure Deji's just slouched over or some shit. Like, Jesus, I'm not entirely sure that Deji has trained for this boxing match at all. In the promotional poster for the fight, he's the only one out of the fighters who's wearing a shirt. He just kind of looks like how Martian Manhunter might end up looking against the lineup of Marvel superheroes. Maybe not bad per se, but that perhaps he should just be somewhere else. The press conference was in LA, in front of the fucking Olympic Stadium, so that was pretty neat. But because of this location in the Paul brothers' home base, their fan base were much more active at the conference itself and just in the audience. I'm sure the crowd will be a lot tougher for them when they go over to have their slap fight with the other set of brothers over in Manchester. Jake and Deji threw some more light insults back and forth at each other, mostly consisting of Deji trying to start a fuck Jake Paul chant, which Jake Paul co-opted pretty fucking quickly, and also Jake Paul chanted Walmart in Deji's direction a lot, like they had some kind of connection as spurned lovers. A note he'd like to keep hitting on throughout the entirety of the press conference. An action that motivated me to make a tweet saying that Jake Paul hates the poor. A tweet that's now deleted, but if you look hard enough, you can probably find an archive of it somewhere.
What the fuck are you wearing?
Yo, I'm not playing tank.
Are those Walmart
Tank.
Yo, cheap ass merch.
Yo, my man looking like Ellen DeGeneres. My man looking like Ellen DeGeneres.
I think one of my favorite things to happen during the entire press conference, and this is setting a pretty low bar to be honest, was when Jake Paul was passionately screaming at Deji like a crazy soccer mom might to a grocery store manager, and his microphone would just stop working sometimes, and you would just see him flailing around frantically, opening his mouth super wide while no words come out.
Star, thanks for being my biggest fan, bro.
Got his mic on, got his mic on. Sit down. Sit down.
It's just fucking great, really. Deji's just sitting there like, this dude's fucking stupid. Deji told Jake that he looked like Ellen DeGeneres a couple times. Yada yada yada. Some other stuff happened, and then eventually the time came when KSI and Logan Paul were called up onto the stage. And it was a whole lot of admittedly better, but more disappointing trash talk than the last round. I wasn't really expecting a whole lot from Jake Paul and Deji. I didn't even realize they were going to be properly at the press conference. I guess I just kind of expected a little more from these events. I guess the KSI and Joe Weller fight and just press conference and all those events just set a standard of personal beef that's just really hard to reach with two fighters who have barely interacted with each other other before this fight even was planned. The highlights on my list of things that happened, the bit where the conference was focused on Logan Paul and KSI, was that it didn't include Jake Paul as much, and the two little brothers of the group were relegated to making small little remarks from the sidelines to make and try and seem like they were part of the thing. Also, there was a part where KSI and Logan Paul exchanged gifts with each other. I just thought it was a very wholesome part of an otherwise tension-filled and very aggressive event. The gifts that the two gave each other were just very personal articles that seemed like they had a lot of thought put into them.
A few presents of mine. What you got, champ? You bought him a present, y'all. I know you're a huge fan. I am too, brother. Oh, you remember this? Toy Story Alien, right? Oh, you want? Trash!
That's KSI's
Logan,
face.
Logan.
Everyone in my house uses this.
Yep, just family-friendly, good old exchange of gifts, good old banter like any good sportsman would do. Yep, that is what's happening here. There's also a part where KSI acts out how he predicts Logan Paul's response will go if he loses the fight, in a video similar to kind of how Joe Weller did when he lost the fight to KSI.
Make sure you zoom into my face for this. This is what you're going to say once you lose.
Okay.
I've made a severe and continuous...
Now it's about to get really spicy in a minute before it goes back to tasting about as plain as the fields in Kentucky.
Of my judgment.
Oh! What's up, bitch? Yeah, you fucking pussy!
Yeah, it seems like things are about to heat up real fast, and then it cools off faster than ice cream in a freezer. And then the next thing you know, the stream's ending and the event's fucking over. For me, I think the biggest disappointment was the lack of more Logan Paul Suicide Forest related jabs. There was just so much more to use there. I guess I just have an expectation when going in to watch a piece of content that I know is at least partially going to involve taking the piss out of Logan Paul, that there will be some sort of shot taken at his antics back in January. Sure, we had a few with KSI making fun of his apology video and the wig and shit, and perhaps the best moment of the entire conference was KSI throwing those Toy Story aliens at Logan. That was pretty fucking funny, I'll give him that. But I think the best way to summarize this conference is a story told in two parts, or in this case, two pictures. The first one is Logan Paul smiling, pointing, looking confident and whatnot, and then the next is an image of Logan running through his hair, revealing a hairline that justifies the haircut he has. That's not even really a widow's peak anymore, that's just kind of a widow's ass crack. And that's me saying with this hairline that doesn't even fucking exist. And good God, is my shit missing. It hasn't been that long since I gave you guys the last update on this, but I have yet to discover the reason behind my fixation on other people's receding hairlines despite their relative health compared to mine. We'll keep you updated as I find out more. But there is just so much missed stuff that KSI or Deji could have used to turn the situation on its head. I really hoped KSI would have said something about Logan losing his AdSense and sub capacity, and also suffocating a fish. It's not that that's a particularly hard-hitting thing, but I feel like there's just a lot of jokes you could make about choking a fish that would make me laugh. Maybe something like, oh, I'm gonna make you stop breathing faster than you did to that fish in your backyard. Or something like, that fish you killed, he's rooting for me and he was your roommate. He probably could have gone harder on the Suicide Forest stuff and all that. Probably would have been good fun, but we can't always have what we want, can we? Now, I think one of the more interesting what-if scenarios that could have happened were if FaZe Banks were at the conference. Because in case you guys haven't heard, him and Jake Paul don't like each other a whole lot. And I think it would have been kind of funny if the camera panned to a feed of FaZe Banks looking very angry, barely restraining himself or something. But then again, if Banks didn't manage to restrain himself, which would be understandable, it probably wouldn't look too good for him, so it was probably for the best that he wasn't there. A Clout Gang member that was there though was RiceGum, who was just doing his usual thing.
Yo, I'm here with RiceGum. RiceGum, what's about to go down?
Man, press conference. Logan, Jake Paul,
Dude,
Deji.
what the fuck? You look like a ghost.
Why am I so white?
Oh yeah, speaking of that clip, Keem was there too, and he just wanted to make sure that Jake knew he was there real quick. Nothing too serious, just a casual, hey, I'm on stage, mom.
Hey, Jake, just so you know, I'm actually on the stage, okay? Throwing water bottles.
Anyways, I'm gonna wrap this video up here. If you guys enjoyed, be sure to drop a like, and if you're new, subscribe. If you guys think that I missed anything in the press conference, don't agree with anything that I said about it, or if you have any thoughts on it in general, be sure to leave that in the comments below. I have a podcast with Wild Spartans and FPS Diesel called Loudmouse. We upload 2 new episodes every week on Tuesdays and Saturdays, and we're up on iTunes, SoundCloud, and YouTube. To anybody who's pledged to the Patreon, thank you guys so much. If any of you guys are interested in taking that extra step in helping out the channel, there's a link to the Patreon in the description. But even if you don't pledge, that's absolutely fine. I appreciate anybody who supports or watches the videos. You can follow me on Twitter at Kwite and on Instagram at Kwite.png. Links to both of those in the description. And lastly, I have a Discord server. Link to that in the description as well if you're interested. Anyways, this has been Kwite, and I will see you guys next time.